Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Friday Gear Show. Today we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why you need an all-round quick draw set. Now, climbing gear is starting to get more and more sophisticated. We're seeing climbing gear designed for a specific genre of climbing. Think carbon fiber ice axes, monopoints, ball nuts, super soft climbing shoes. That's great, that's fantastic, but it's easy to forget that most climbers, me included, do a whole range of climbing activities. We might go sport climbing during the week, trad at the weekend, alpine climbing trips, and big multi-pitch weekends. We need gear that covers a wide variety of different climbing types, and that's where all-round quick draws come in. So, here's 5 reasons why you should get some. So today we're going to be using the Camp Cassin Photon Wire Express Quick Draw as an example. These are all-round quick draws that I've been using for a while and I'm really enjoying the experience. They're super lightweight at only 68 grams and 25% bigger carabiners than their rivals. As well as being fantastic to use, they're also very good value at around €64 for a set of 6 on the EpicTV shop. So they tick all the all-round carabiner boxes. So let's jump into it. The first reason is weight. Generally, all-round quick draws are lighter than their sport climbing brothers. So this is the Singing Rock Colt, and there is a weight difference between them. Especially if you were to stack 6 on a harness, you'd really start to feel that. A very popular sport climbing specific draw is the Wild Country Proton, and that's 120 grams compared to 68 grams for this baby. So there is a real weight difference. Now, why is there a weight difference? Well, with sport climbing specific draws, you're expecting to fall on them a lot. You need to haul on them, they need to take some abuse, and they're built burlier and bulkier and heavier because of that. You also don't really need to rack them on your harness. You tend to put them in and then descend and then have a red point attempt with the draws already in the wall. Weight isn't a consideration. But with an all-round draw, being this lightweight, you can take more on your harness and you don't feel it as much on your harness. So if you're doing a big multi-pitch and you've got 12 Proton draws, that's really going to feel heavy. But if you do a big multi-pitch with these babies, they're going to feel light, you're going to climb better, and have generally all round a better day. Reason 2 for buying an all-round carabiner is the size of the gate and the carabiner itself. All-round draws tend to hit that sweet spot where it's not too bulky but it's very easy to clip quickly when you're climbing. Now, if we compare this to a trad climbing specific draw, I'm thinking the Petzl Angle Finesse, that has tiny little carabiners. Now, that means that they're very lightweight, low profile on your harness. But why? Why are they so small and almost fiddly? Well, it's because of the difference in the climbing styles between trad climbing and sport climbing. Now, generally, unless you get up into the very hard trad climbing, you're placing the draws and you're placing the gear in positions that are a bit more stable. Sometimes you're on a ledge or you're in a position where you can fiddle them around. And you don't need to snatch at a clip like you do when you're sport climbing. You can simply reach down and clip it up, and you can be more precise with that clipping on a smaller trad draw. You also generally use thinner ropes when you trad climb. I'm thinking double ropes that are quite thin, and therefore one double rope or single double rope, if you see what I mean, clips through very easily onto a small carabiner. But that's fiddly, it gets in the way, and especially if you have trad draws as your all-round draw, you're going to find that super annoying if you're sport climbing in it, or if you're using one of those tiny little draws with gloves on. An all-round, larger size of carabiner is just better for everything, so gate size is reason 2. Reason 3 is versatility, and it may sound obvious. I've been talking about all-round draws all show, but all-round draws allow you to do more things. Now, I don't know about you, but I am just a general climber. I like lots of different things. Sometimes I'll be sport climbing in the evening. At the weekends, I'll smash up an alpine climb, or maybe I'll take a longer weekend and go and do some multi-pitches. I'm not that specific as a climber. Sure, I tend to do more sport climbing because I live in Europe, but that doesn't mean that that limits me to one type of climbing. I want a draw that does everything. It's also easier to pack. When I'm thinking about my rack or the gear I'm going to take with me, I don't need to think, well, it's a sport climb, so I'll grab the sport drawers, or it's a trad climb, so I'll grab my trad drawers. I just grab the drawers, put them in. I'm not a sport climber, I'm a climber, and I want my gear to reflect that. Now, this may just be me, but it annoys the heck out of me if I can't use a carabiner with gloves on. And I've been really impressed with how the Photon has handled being used with gloves. Now, I alpine climb, and it really annoys me when you have to fiddle around and carabiners catch the material of the gloves within the gate itself. These are nice and big and wide, and when you're alpine climbing, it's one less thing to worry about. Sometimes alpine specific drawers have small gates and extenders, and that's great. It's fantastic to have a few of those to supplement your rack. But personally, if I'm on some types of terrain, I'm moving together with my partner, I don't want to spend the time to fiddle with a small gate and extend a quick draw. All I want to do is crack it in, clip it, and move off. You're trying to be fast here. You don't want to faff. So for me, an all-round carabiner is better than carrying a whole rack of extendable quick draws. Sure, they're useful, and what I do is I have an all-round set and then a few in there in case I need to extend it. Yeah, you could take a sport climbing draw. Those massive gates would be brilliant with gloves on, but as we know, they're very heavy, and in a sport where every single gram counts, you don't want that extra weight. So the fact that you can open up that alpine environment with all-round draws makes that my reason number 4. The last reason, reason 5, is money, cold hard cash. Now, as climbers, we don't like to spend money on non-essential items, and having specific quick draws for specific sports is a bit frivolous. It's a bit like me going out and buying a Ferrari just because I really, really want a fast car. It's not going to take me to work every day, and it's not going to work in the snow very well. It's better to have one thing that does everything. So unless you're a climber who's guaranteed to be doing one thing, let's say you're the next prodigy in sport climbing and you hate cams, then you're gonna want a draw that does, as we've discussed, everything and saves you some money. Sure, go and buy 10 Proton quick draws, have an amazing time sport climbing, but see what happens when you go trad climbing with your mates and they're laughing at you. Sometimes specific gear is necessary. Think of those routes you do where you need that one bit of gear to make everything safe. But be honest with yourself. Is it the quick draw that's stopping you clipping your chains on that 7C project? If so, then fair enough, go ahead, get those sport draws. But if, like me, it's generally finger strength and all-round bad climbing ability that's stopping you, then just get an all-round draw and save yourself some money. And about 64 euros on the EpicTV shop for 6 of these. They are fantastic value, and I would really recommend them. So there you go, 5 reasons why you need an all-round draw, and I feel like I've been super positive towards all-round draws. I do have to admit, in a sport climbing situation, one of those big chunky sport climbing draws is better, and I do like the super lightweight of that Petzl Angle Finesse carabiner. It's just beautifully designed. So the hard-headed part of me is like, just get all-round carabiners, but that bit of me that likes gear, likes a bit of geekery, I do want specific draws. I just have to check my bank balance first. Now, the Photons are great carabiners, and we've been using them a lot here at the EpicTV office. There are some downsides to it. That lightweight thing, 68 grams, you're gonna lose a bit of durability for that. You have to make a sacrifice. And although obviously these aren't scratched up or battered at the moment, I don't think these would last as long as a slightly heavier quick draw, but you have to make that decision on them. I like the smooth feeling of them. Wire gates, these sort of open areas here, some people don't like them. Sometimes it can move when you hit it, and it's just a feel thing. It just feels different from a solid gate carabiner. So again, personal choice, but worth considering if you want to pick some of these up. Do let me know in the comments below what you think of these quick draws and what you think of general all-round quick draws. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.